I get it. Scrolling through endless espresso machine listings, you see glossy photos, promises of Barista-level coffee at home, and a price tag that makes you pause. Then you remember the last time you bought a sleek-looking gadget that turned out to be a leaky, temperamental mess on the countertop. That hesitation is real, and it's why I wanted to break down the Kenmore Elite Espresso machine before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, this isn't a just the machine scenario. Kenmore's offering bundles a burr grinder, an auto tamper, a milk steamer, and a cleaning cycle into one chassis. That integration is the biggest draw for people who have tried piecing together separate grinders, tampers, and frothers only to end up with a kitchen that looks like a coffee shop experiment zone. The question is whether that all-in-one approach actually translates to a smoother daily routine or just more moving parts that can go wrong. Setting it up is surprisingly straightforward if you have a dedicated spot on the counter. The water reservoir slides out, fills up, and locks back in without any hose gymnastics. The bean hopper holds about 250 grams of beans, which is enough for a few days of 2-cup drinks before you need to refill. The grinder is built-in, so there's no separate appliance taking up extra space, and the grind size can be adjusted with a simple dial. In my testing, the dial felt solid and gave a decent range from fine espresso to a coarser drip-style grind, so you can experiment without swapping machines. The first thing I noticed after the initial heat-up, about 3 minutes, was the auto tamper. Traditional espresso makers require you to manually press the grounds with a tamper, a step that many newbies either skip or do unevenly, leading to weak shots. Kenmore's auto tamper engages automatically once you press the brew button, applying consistent pressure each time. In practice, that meant my first shot tasted much richer than the hand-tamped attempts I'd made with a cheaper machine. The pressure felt steady, and the crema was a thin, honey-colored layer that persisted for a solid 20 seconds. Now, the milk frother. It's a steam wand that swivels and has a built-in frothing nozzle. For a latte, you tilt the pitcher, engage the steam, and the wand produces microfoam that's thick enough for latte art if you're willing to practice the wrist flick. The froth held its texture for about a minute before separating, which is typical for home steam wands. What stood out was the temperature control. You can hold the steam button and watch a small LED indicator change color as the wand reaches the optimal temperature for milk. That helps avoid the common rookie mistake of scalding milk, which leaves a burnt taste. One hidden trade-off is the machine's footprint. The Kenmore Elite is about the size of a small dishwasher. It's not a compact unit you can tuck behind a toaster. If your kitchen is already crowded, you'll need to dedicate a permanent spot. The other practical downside is noise. The built-in grinder is a high-speed burr that whirs loudly. Think of a coffee shop grinder on full blast. It's fine if you're brewing first thing in the morning while the house is still quiet, but it can be jarring if you're trying to make a late-night espresso without waking anyone. Cleaning is often the make-or-break factor for espresso machines, and Kenmore tries to simplify it with an auto-clean cycle. After a few drinks, you press the clean button, and the machine runs water through the brew group, flushing out residual coffee oils. The cycle takes about 5 minutes, and you don't need to disassemble anything. However, you still have to decale the water reservoir periodically, especially if you have hard water. The manufacturer recommends a descaling solution, but you can also use a vinegar rinse if you're watching your budget. So who should actually consider buying this machine? If you're a coffee enthusiast who drinks 2 or more espresso-based drinks daily, appreciates the convenience of an all-in-one system, and don't mind a larger countertop presence, the Kenmore Elite hits a sweet spot. The auto tamper and grinder save you the hassle of buying separate tools, and the built-in cleaning cycle means you won't spend hours scrubbing after each use. The 5-year warranty also adds peace of mind. You're not